What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the E2A Flippers podcast. And today I want to make a video sharing my experience the first 30 days using a prep center in my eBay to Amazon business. So far we've done about 150 items or so with this prep center. And I want to share the pros and the cons. I want to talk about what a prep center is, how much my prep center costs, and just kind of share my experience. Now, I wish I would have started using a prep center sooner. And if you're not sure what a prep center is, it's essentially a company that allows you to ship your items to them. They'll receive it, they'll inspect it, they'll prep it, polybag it, they'll list it for you and ship it on your behalf, so you don't have to have it come to your house. Like for anyone who watches my Instagrams or my YouTube videos or whatever, you see all the packages showing up, all the eBay packages showing up to my house, and you know, it's a lot of work. It's fun. It's great for social media, but it gets a little overwhelming when you're buying 500 to 1,000 to 1,500 items every month and they show up to your house. So I just want to share my experience in terms of how this is going so far. Now, I've only been doing this for about a month, and so far it's been a great experience. I really have no complaints. Everything's been great. I would say the only downside is obviously items aren't going to get checked in as quickly, but it is Q4 right now, and I did start using this prep center in the heart of just like the busiest time of the year. So I don't think it's really fair for me to say it's been slower, like in a sense compared to like, I don't know, like sometimes I don't ship every week. Sometimes I might take a week off, or, you know, a lot of inventory doesn't come in, or like somebody's sick on the team. So, I mean, it is what it is, but I think it'll be faster when we're outside of Q4. Okay. Now, in terms of the cost, for me, it's $1.50 per unit for this prep center that I'm using. So included in that cost is the cost of a poly bag. Okay. So they do inspect it for free. They make sure the item isn't damaged. And that was one thing that kind of held me back, was like, are they really going to inspect it? Are they going to check? And I think a big part of the responsibility is communicating. I communicated with the owner and I said, hey, you know, I'm doing E to A. I don't have invoices. These are some things to look out for with DVDs. These are some things to look out for my new packages, you know, and I just created a list of things for them to look out for. Now, it's not enough time to, you know, tell you if I've had any problematic injuries due to items that they prepped, or returns or issues or anything like that. But for right now, it's $1.50 per item. If you have items that are damaged or whatnot, this prep center, there's a whole bunch of them out there, guys. I'll actually put a link down below to a whole list of prep centers that you can use. And there's a ton of them out there. I'd recommend getting a prep center that is sales tax free. Mine wasn't. Okay. So for you, you probably want to get one where you're sales tax free. I had to go through some extra steps to become tax exempt, but I'll put a whole list down below. If you have items that are damaged, or if you have to return it back to eBay, this prep center, they'll actually put it into problem inventory, and then you can have a label created and they'll actually return the item back to the eBay seller so you can get a refund, which is great. Also, recently I had some items that ended up getting restricted, and one item that I ended up deleting the listing because it was under a generic listing. It was a Logitech product. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to sell this. So when I deleted and closed the listing, it went stranded, so they couldn't ship it out. So now they have to ship it back to me. So they do charge, I think it's like 75 cents per item to ship back to me. Plus I have to pay for shipping, which, you know, it is what it is, but they take care of that. And essentially the way it works with this prep center is they have a software, like it's a simple software that has a couple different sections: planned inventory, received inventory, problematic inventory, and then shipped inventory. So every time my team purchases an item, we go into their software and we add in the ASIN, how many units they should be expecting to receive, the condition, what our buy cost was, our price, and then the date we purchased it, and we put it in. And it essentially goes into like a holding area where they're essentially waiting for that product. Now, once they get the product, they scan the box of the item. It actually will update the tracking number, and it'll reconcile with the planned inventory, and it'll go into received inventory. So things move from planned, which you have to manually put in. And then once they scan in the item and receive it, it goes into received inventory. If anything doesn't meet your criteria or their criteria, I guess, in terms of like if you're selling new and it comes used or it's the wrong item, so on and so forth, it'll end up in problem inventory where you then have to address it to have it returned to the eBay seller or get it shipped back to you. And then essentially what this company does is they list on my behalf. So they actually go into Amazon Seller Central, they list the item for me, they create the shipment. Again, how do they list it? How do they know what to put? Well, I include the ASIN when we buy it, the quantity, the buy cost, the list price. So their team just puts that into Amazon Seller Central, builds out the shipment, ships it out, and then I can see that status update and everything going out. Actually, it'll show up in my Amazon Seller Central, which is really cool. This company, they send me an invoice about once per week. So far it's been great. It's been smooth. They haven't found any issue or damaged items, but one thing I'll say, since we moved to the prep center, and right now we're only using them about 20% of the time because they actually told me they don't want me sending them too much because we're smack dab in the middle of Q4 at the time of this recording. This podcast might come out in January. They haven't discovered any problems right now. It is Q4, so we'll see how this goes. So far, it's been a great experience. I'm looking forward to see how it goes. The goal for 2024 is to move 90% of my buys to the prep center. Who knows? I might use a different one in the future. Maybe I'll use multiple ones. I am using my E2A master sheet, which helps to be able to reconcile so I can see when things are delivered to them. I could, just kind of monitor the whole entire process, which is nice. But yeah, first 30 days have been really great. I wish I would have done this sooner. Check out the links below. I'll put some links to the different prep centers and whatnot, and you can check some of them out to see based on where you live or your goals in your business. But yeah, first 30 days have been successful. I'd say it's nothing but pros, maybe just a little slow to get checked in, but I think that's normal in Q4. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me a question at rakeandprofit.com/asksteve. You can fill out the Google form and I can feature you on an upcoming podcast. So with that being said, just want to document my first 30 days using a prep center. Wish I would have done it sooner. We'll see if I eat my own words in the next 90 days, but so far so good. With that being said, much love, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.